Check, check, check. All right, guys. I am so sorry. I had done dozed off. Okay. I am so sorry. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. Check, check, check. All right. All right. Okay. All right. And we're going to start fresh. Going to start with install first. This does have a lot of moving parts. Um, but yeah, we'll go through it step by step. I can't believe I fell asleep. Um. Mm-hmm. Let me find yourself on the side of majority. Okay. All right. From the top. Let's do Shanti. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and download Visual Studio Code. All right. Okay. Gonna go ahead and accept. Pick any directory, doesn't matter. Yes and yes. Okay. And install. Let's go ahead and download Python. Okay. We will not launch Visual Studio Code just yet. Download Python. Hey Shacey, how's it going? Okay, so we have Visual Studio, we have Python. Um, let's see. What else would we need? Use admin, add path. Yes, 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 yes. You can decide to install for all users if you want. Um, let's make it just put on the C file. Just here, and we'll just make it Python. Okay. All right, and let's do a search for AutoGPT GitHub. Actually, GitHub. No, we don't need to install GitHub. Okay. Probably going to be the top search, significant gravitas. We're going to go to code, download zip. Okay. All right. So downloads. We're going to extract. Uh-huh. Keep everything the same. Okay. All right. View list. Sort by type. Okay. Let's go ahead and run Visual Studio Code. We're going to do all these steps again. Probably a little slower. Okay. All right. Oh, Docker. Download Docker. Or download Docker Desktop if you're on Windows. Okay. Okay. Docker Desktop is still downloading. So we have Docker, Visual Studio Code, and we have Python so far. Okay. Open Docker Desktop. We can close this. Okay. Come on. There you go. Okay. And Docker is for containers. And containers, think about it as kind of like little virtual environments, kind of like a virtual machine, but on a much smaller scale. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me see what version that they have. Okay, so they're still on 0.22. Okay. Okay, it's gonna take a while. Let me see if there's any configuring we need to do on the Visual Studio Code side of things. All right, so we're gonna go to our project file, which is the AutoGPT master file folder. I'm gonna use copy that directory, file, Open folder, paste that folder. Okay, so we're going to hit trust, click yes. Dev containers extension is recommended. Yes. We're going to click install. Okay, that's installed. Reopen the container. We're not going to do that just yet because we're still installing Docker. You must restart Windows to complete. Okay, let's go ahead and restart. All right, let's start over again from the top. Let's go ahead and install Visual Studio Code. This is our integrated development environment. Okay. And then we're going to click open. Run. We really need to figure out, need to be asking GPT-4 how we can create like distributed apps, distributed communication apps. I accept, click next, next, next. And we'll just enable all of that. You click all the boxes, next, and install. I mean, we could have multiple instances running on all the computers. The problem is that API cost. How much would that cost? Launch Visual Studio Code. Yeah. Okay. We'll just maximize and we'll just close that out now. All right. So we'll do Python download. Download Python 3.11.3. Latest version as of today. Latest stable version, I think. Click open. Okay. And we're going to run. All right. Add Python to the path. Customize. We're going to make sure everything is checked. All users. And we don't need anything else. I like to keep my Python installations on the root folder. And I don't like to have version numbers added to the folder because you're gonna plan on updating and stuff like that. It can get kind of confusing. Let's say 6 months down the road, you'll probably be asking yourself, why is my folder name 3.11 when I'm like on 3.14, 3.14 or something like that. So I usually just keep it in the C Python folder. Click install. And next would be, well, we'll wait till this get done first. Let's see if Ashanti is rebooted yet. It has. So it did ask me to restart the computer, and I did. All right, so let's start Visual Studio here. Reopening container. Oh, we'll worry about that later. Okay, so we'll wait for Janet to finish. Then we're gonna while Python is going, we're going to download AutoGPT. We're going to do AutoGPT GitHub, and it'll be the first link. And to make sure you have the right uh, repository, the name of the repository or the user will be significant gravitas. We're gonna go to here, code, the green button, download zip. Make sure you download folder or wherever you want to download. Okay. And then go to your folder. Okay. Now, normally when you do extract all, you'll have the name of the folder, like this another folder in here with the same name. I just moved that folder out to here. It won't make any difference. Oh, it does make a difference, but they'll be the same name. It may ask you that there's an overlap or whatever. What that means is like the folder that you're moving, um, the folder that was in here. Let me show you all again from the start because I know that'd be confusing if you don't see it. When you right click your zip file, go to extract all and go to extract. Okay. So you go to AutoGPT, you'll find another AutoGPT master folder here. Same name as the one here. So all I do is click that Control X to move, and then paste that here. Just move one directory up. And so now when you double click this folder again, you don't have that second folder with the same name. Okay. So now you have AutoGPT there. Okay. And then Docker. Okay. We'll wait for that to get done downloading. Okay. Wait for this to get done. Almost. And you know when this icon changes when it's done downloading. Okay, so Python was done installing. Still not done yet. There it is. You see how the icon changed. So you're going to right click and click open. Okay, click run. Now it will ask us, like it did on the Shanti, to restart. Janet Jackson runs a lot slower, so this may take a while. All right, back on Ashanti. It's deprecated. You can use. You will not be able to install further major updates. Latest version of Windows. Let's see here. Okay. So this is an update to Defender. It's not exactly, well, it's not an update to Windows specifically. Okay, we'll accept. This is our Android emulator. We won't worry about that. We'll skip all this. Starting the Docker engine. Think about Docker as kind of like a sandbox environment for your apps. So like viruses and stuff can't write to your actual system. It'll be writing to your sandbox environment. Okay, we're gonna leave that here. And then see this little button in the bottom left hand. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Okay. The button in the bottom left hand corner here. You can see my mouse is green. You want to push this button. This is after you install the Docker extension for Visual Studio Code. And let's say new dev container. Forgot how I did this on the first time. Remote extensions, I don't think. Dev containers. Nope. Ain't the one. May execute arbitrary code. Got it. But we don't. Yeah, we don't have any containers to attach to. There was install the disk usage extent. Okay. Let's see. I wonder if there's a way to get it to create one. Add dev container configuration files, reopening container, attach to running. Let's do reopen in container. We don't want to be whipping up our own containers from scratch. See, I say an open remote, that means opening in a Docker instance, a Docker container instance. Starting dev container. This isn't really a necessary step, but it's good practice to run your apps in a virtualized environment. Come on. Let's see how Janet Jackson's doing. Add shortcut. Yep. Okay. Now, if the Docker is done installing on this system, it's going to ask us to restart, which we will. Let's see. It's taking its time. Let's see. RAM, almost 2 gigs. Yeah, we should probably skip this step to prevent complications because this is taking a minute. Well, okay, we'll start after this gets done doing whatever it's doing. We'll restart it and then do it without Docker. There could be an idea for one of our projects is to move you would be to create like a distributed application. How to do that, regardless of programming language. Um, yeah. Wow, it's taking a while. Jen Jackson is still installing Docker. So now on our Black Hillary Banks system, which we don't have Visual Studio Code installed, but we do have Visual Studio Classic installed. This is kind of like this is my development PC, along with my gaming PC. So I should be putting Visual Studio Code on here too. Yeah, show us the log. Yeah, see how it's taking a minute. Okay. Still hasn't created the container yet. It's going to do all of that in one step. Downloading source for 240. We already have Python installed, but it's installing some other dependencies. Okay, so same thing here. We will not be restarting. We'll do it. We'll just do it without Docker. Okay. So let's get our project folder, AutoGPT, wherever you downloaded it. You're gonna get that the directory, the full path to that project directory. AutoGPT master, file, open folder, select folder. It's going to ask us to install. Well, we're going to select yes, we trust. Dev containers extension, yes, but we're going to install the extension, but we're not going to be using Docker on this system. We will not be reopening in the container. Okay. We're going to close this. We're going to close this. We're going to go to our readme.md file. All right. So I think to fix the zooming, well, it's control plus and minus. Okay. Very first thing, terminal, new terminal. And let's just put in Python just to make sure it works, which it does. Python 3.11. So we have that installed. And it is in our path. So what it means to have something in your path means that the command can be run from a command prompt. Otherwise, you would have to, cd to where that or change directory to whatever that program was at, and then you would have to execute it there. But we don't have to do that because the directory wherever Python is installed was added to our executable path. So our system knows where to look when we put in command prompt. If it wasn't in our path, it will say like Python is not a recognized command, so on and so forth. But we don't have that problem. So it's still, you see, I'm still waiting on spinning up a container. Okay, step one. Just gonna scroll down a little bit here. All right, so environment, Python, Docker. We installed both. We won't be using Python. We won't be using Docker on this system. Set up your OpenAI keys. All right. If you do not have an API key, I am going to put I'm going to put this in the chat. And you will need to get your OpenAI keys, OpenAI AI API keys. Okay, OpenAI API key. Create an account if you haven't already. Whoops. Oh. Oh, come on now. All right, I do have to do this for new places. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Hey, Miss Bonita, how's it going? Uh, files from server. Okay. Okay. I use the Google account to install. Okay. So once you're done installing, or once you get your OpenAI account, it'll ask for your phone number, stuff like that, on your very first time. You would go to view API keys, and then you would create a new secret key here. Um, of course, you want to know, you want to copy that and then put it somewhere else because you won't be able to copy it again once it shows it to you the first time. You'd have to create a new key and then throw away the previous one. Okay. And then you go to this file on the left hand side where it says .env .template. You want to rename it, press F2, and then just take off the .template part, and it'll just be .env. And then whatever your OpenAI key is, you would put that here. And you would do that by doing double quotes. You would take out this your OpenAI API key part and replace it with double quotes. Delete, and then you would paste in your key there. To be like a long, funky string. Make sure it's within double quotation marks. Very important. You would do the same thing. Let's see. Let's go back to the README file. We've already downloaded the AutoGPT project, installed the dependencies. Okay. And we would install dependencies. Let's see. There's a command. Wait a second. Did they shorten this down? This would probably be better seen if we could open this in our web browser. It would actually. A little bit better. No, not really. Well, actually, we go to the GitHub page, the AutoGPT project page, and they'll have the instructions down here as well. Quick start, setup, OpenAI keys, later Dependencies. There's an actual command. It is. We don't have to do the git clone because we've already downloaded the code. You don't have to cd to AutoGPT because it does it automatically in Visual Studio Code when you open up a new terminal from the project folder. And then it'll be pip install requirements.txt. So this is the Python and Python package manager or whatever in pip called pip. And so the requirements.txt, see this file right here? It'll be this file. We're going to install all the dependencies listed in this file. Okay, so we're going to paste. You can just right click and it'll automatically paste here. Pip install -r requirements.txt. Again, this will be all the dependencies in this file here. And then we're going to click enter or press enter. Let's see. Let's kill this terminal because we open up Python. We're just going to ignore that. We don't want to start Python and then do that. Okay, pip install. Now we do it. There you go. And now it's downloading all our packages that we'll need to run this thing. I know I've heard that there's a one-click installer for Windows, which, matter of fact, let me see. One-click installer, AutoGPT. Make sure. Oh, come on. AutoGPT pricing. I'm not seeing any one-click. Oh, okay. So in Python, I guess, not Python, in PowerShell, it's this command here, IEX. We'll test that out on the next system. See how successful that is. Okay, so command fail, an error occurred. Yeah, we won't worry about Docker on the system as well. Disconnect. Oh, did it connect? Okay, there's our images, but it didn't create any containers. We have volume, images. Just think about it like this, guys. An image is required. An image is kind of like what is a part of that sort of like that virtualized environment, right? And images can't run by themselves. They need a container to run. If you want to distribute your virtualized environment, you would distribute it using images. Images go inside of containers. Containers, you run containers in Docker, and that would be your virtualized environment. So in terms of hierarchy, it would be images and containers. Okay. Disconnect. Close remote connection. And then reopen our project folder here. Okay. All right, we will not be opening in container. And just like we did with Janet Jackson, we're going to run a terminal. We don't need to cd into our project folder because it does that automatically here. When we open up the folder, and that'll be folder, open folder, and then we navigate to wherever your project folder is, AutoGPT master. You would double click inside that folder and just click select folder. And then it will bring you here. So we don't have to do, that would be, where is it? That would be this step here. don't have to do that. And we downloaded the code ourselves, so we don't have to do this step here. All right, but we do have to install our dependencies. Dependencies means when you're running a program, there are other libraries and modules that it uses. Think about it. Think about having like a car, but you only have like the frame, right? So you have to download your wheels from somewhere else. Someone else created the wheels library, so you have to download that. Someone created the engines library, so you have to download that, so on and so forth. All of that is needed to get the car to crank. So here, we're just going to right click. Control V will not work. It'll come up with like a special sort of key press here. It's not going to be useful. So we just right click. If you do like a copy, you just Control C here after you highlight it, and you just right click once here, and it would paste for you. Okay. And we let that run, and it's going to install all of our libraries that we need to run this thing. And let that run. Okay, and again, you will need to go create an account with OpenAI and to get your API keys. And again, that will be we'll wait till this get done downloading. But in terms of like the hierarchy in your project, you're going to rename your .env .template file. You're going to just press F2 and then just delete the .template part. So let's say here, see where it says .env .template. This part here, let's zoom in. I'll select that, F2, and we're going to delete the .template part where it just has .env, and from there, let's scoot this down. You would put your API key here. And remember, it would be in double quotes. Okay. It'll be like a long string, something like that. You need that to be able to run AutoGPT. Let's wait till everything else gets done installing, and it's just got done, just finished. Okay. Let's see, and it's done installing here. A new version of pip is available. So let's go ahead and update pip. And it's giving us the command to do it. Again, we'll Control C and right click. And it's going to update it. Successfully uninstalled, successfully installed. So that's updated. Same thing here with Ashanti. Python -m pip install upgrade pip. No need to memorize these things. It's already listed in the project, Auto GitHub project. Okay. All right. So once you are done installing your or pasting your OpenAI key or OpenAI API key, then you should be good to go. Now there are other things like if you want to uh, have like your custom Google search and stuff like that, then you would add that. But we're not going to worry about that just yet. All right, so we have it on 3 systems: our whole system, Ashanti, and JJ. Let's do it the command. It says one click. This is a PowerShell command, IEX. Let's see how that goes. So we're going to go to Nia Long. We're going to go to CMD, run as admin. Okay. And we're going to paste or right click to paste inside a command window. And let's see if we can do that. Nope. All right. So let's start PowerShell first. We're going to put it in the PowerShell command. Okay. And you know it's PowerShell when it has that PS in front of it. And then paste. All right. Let's see. OpenAI's API costs money, as well as a lot of others. Please remember to set usage limits. So that means like when I think there's probably a place to do that in here somewhere. But yeah, please be responsible. Matter of fact, how much do I owe? Where are we at? We at $8.45. Okay. That's because we've only been using version 3.5. We haven't been using 4. But yeah. They cap us out. If you saw, they give us a cap of 120 a month. Right? We can't go over that. So we don't end up owing like, $250,000 or something stupid like that. All right. So with that one command, we're going to see how much this does. Welcome to Troubleshoots AutoGPT installer. AutoGPT. So all this other dependencies amount should be now installed version. Okay. Let's see how far it goes. Because that would actually help a lot if we could just do that. It's going to install Chocolatey, and Chocolatey is another sort of package manager. Okay. So it's actually installing Git. Git is what you would use if you want to clone something from GitHub. Instead of doing like pressing that green button and in code in GitHub, you press the green button and download zip. We would actually be using the git command. Conda is not installed. Python version is not between 3.8 and 3.10. Assuming you're installed the correct version, please enter the command you use to access Python. Otherwise, enter Python to continue anyways. Okay. So it required us to install Python to begin with. Okay, so we're just going to do Python. We're going to do Python 3. It is not between 3 and 3.8. Alternatively, follow this guide for manual installation. Process can try to continue, but will likely fail. All right, so we have to still install Python. So that's probably the first step. Installing AutoGPT. It is, let's see, run without arguments to install from Microsoft Store. Enter your open API key. Okay. If you want TTS, okay, so it's doing like a step-by-step kind of a thing. Okay, so that's cool. No, we're not doing voice. We're not doing PyCone. Google API is for like your custom search API key. That is a lengthy process. Hugging Face, we won't worry about that. Desktop shortcut, yes. But we are still going to need to download Python and probably Visual Studio Code too. Python was not found. Run without arguments to install from Microsoft Store. Okay. So it did do a bit of a heavy lifting for us. Let's see, where did it put the install or the project folder stuff? Let's see. I like my way better. I understand what the purpose of one click is for people who don't know how to set it up. It does take a little bit of effort to get this started. Okay, so from the top, Visual Studio, code download. First link, choose your platform. We're on Windows. Okay, and then download Visual Studio Code. I usually download it to the downloads folder. Okay, and then we're going to click open. I accept. Next, next, next. Make sure all these are clicked or checked. Anyone need help getting AutoGPT running? Okay, and we'll launch it. Why is it only showing? Hold on a second. Google Chrome. Oh, we may have had that problem. Okay, I chose the wrong uh, share selection. Okay. All right. Visual Studio Code down. Next, Python. Current version of Python 3.11.3. Download. Open. Add Python exe to the path. That's extremely important. Customize. Make sure all of this is selected. Next. Install all for all users. Downloading debugging symbols and download binaries not very, or debug binaries is not important. And I like to keep my folder and my root folder. So mostly all your root folder is your C drive. So C and then your Python. I don't like to have version numbers connected to my Python folder for when we update. Okay. And we'll close out Visual Studio here. All right. So we can close it on Ashanti. We'll get into, we'll see actually how we can go about running a distributed version here. So at the very least, Visual Studio Code, and Python. Whew. Is Two Chicks going? Two Chicks is probably live streaming, right? None of there are. All right, let's close this out. Okay. So Python and Visual Studio Code is running or is installed. Step number 3, AutoGPT. So AutoGPT GitHub. You see this green button? Click that. Download zip. Okay. Right click on the AutoGPT master folder. Extract all. Extract. I gotta take 5 darn exams. Can the AIs work for the transcription jobs? Sure can. Sure can. Now it's not stable. Let me go ahead and just mute them. I'll catch the replay if they ask me something. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna be up for a while getting this running this just running different projects and everything. Okay. Okay. We have our project folder here. Let's open up Visual Studio Code. Okay. You know, we should, you know what we should do? We should have a Discord. Discord doesn't have the time limits. Um, yeah, Discord doesn't have the time limits. I know mostly everyone's gonna be uh familiar with Zoom, and we could do Zoom if that's what helps everyone. The problem with Zoom is that I don't have a premium membership, and they'll end the stream after about 40 minutes. So we'll have to constantly keep rejoining. But what if you guys need to install this? Um, I am here to help, even if it takes one-on-one Zoom calls, and then we do screen shares and stuff like that, if that's what it takes. Okay. Once you have Visual Studio Code open, File, Open Folder. Then we're going to go to our project folder. We're going to get the path, the full directory path to our AutoGPT project folder. We're going to copy, select the path, Control-C, copy, put it in here, and we're going to select folder. Yes, I trust. And the reason why I ask you that, if you get like a project folder from some source that's not from GitHub or any reputable source, it could contain like malware or anything like that. So that's why I'd ask you. Dev containers extension we're going to install, even though we're not going to run Docker. I just want to install the extension for the future anyways. We're not going to be reopening in the container. That's what it's asking us if we want to reopen in Docker. Let's see. Looks at your links below. Scary receipts. Okay. And we can close that. All right. So we have Visual Studio. We have Python installed. We have our project folder. And now we're going to open up Terminal. And we're going to go to readme.md. And the actual command to install all our dependencies. They really shortened this down? They really did. Wow. Okay. So it's here somewhere. Install the dependencies. Okay, so it'd be this command here. Select Control C. When you go back in terminal, just right click once and then press enter. And pip uses Python, so yeah, that's why we have Python installed. Okay. I should show y'all some of the art that I've been creating in GitHub. Not GitHub, Discord. Oh yeah, and the AutoGPT Discord is jumping like all day, every day. Around the clock, there's people in there talking about code, hacking, programming, trolling, all kinds of stuff. AutoGPT Discord is definitely the place to be. People trying to figure this thing out. Okay. All right. Let's see. I still can't get Phoenix right. Phoenix of the Crown. I can't get her right for whatever reason. But yeah, when we're talking about like creating prompts with like GPT-4 and Midjourney 5, like it's getting ridiculous. Really, really. You see how long this prompt is, don't you? And I've seen longer prompts, but there's this prompt that I came up with. This actually looks like a black or a Latina Gal Gadot. Um, but yeah, one of the great things is having GPT-4 to generate your prompts, or you can get someone else's prompt from let's say Mid Journey. Where is it? And then you could just have GPT-4 just remix it. Let's see, is it newbies? I mean, you could pretty much go any one of these folders. Astronaut watching the world burn from space. That's pretty amazing. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Okay. All right. So the dependencies there are done. And all we would need to do here is put in our API keys and then we'll be set. Let's go ahead and get started in terms of like actually getting something done. Actually, let me show y'all the Auto GPT space. Like you see how it's popping. It's 10 o'clock at night, and you can come back at 4 o'clock in the morning. They'll still be popping. GitHub just artificial intelligence automation platform, AI management plan, the memory and versatile plugin. Okay, so yeah, people are forking Auto GPT and creating new projects from Auto GPT. That's what it means to fork. It's kind of like your own spin on the application. You have Docker installed in system. Do you want to install the recommended extensions? Yes, but we will not be this oh yeah, that's fine. Probably actually probably actually probably I wonder if you can run one Docker instance across all your systems. I wonder. Okay. All right, so open folder. Downloads. Actually, let's go here. Okay, where'd I put you? Here. No, don't get me started on the Golden State Warriors today. Damn, they gave me a heart attack. Steph almost blew the whole damn game, calling a timeout when they didn't have one. Anywho, all right, select the folder. Yes, I trust. No, we will not reopen in the container. So we're going to close Discord to prevent all that. Okay, let's get started. New terminal. Yeah, they really did change. They simplified their README, which is fine. Yeah, you see how the command is in here? We already have our API keys and everything installed. We won't worry about Docker. All right. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Don't have to worry about Pinecone. I see why they simplified it because this can be a little pain in the rear end. All right. Okay. Let's run GPT-4 today. We're going to copy this command. We're not going to be, we're not going to, we don't have an 11 labs API key, so we won't be using our voice cloning technology, so it'll speak to us. So we're going to take off that speak switch. We're going to take off the GPT-3 only switch because we're actually going to be using GPT-4. And let's get going. So Python-m AutoGPT. We will not be running this in continuous mode. Okay. We're going to be creating a new bot from scratch. So let's say, all right, guys, what are we running today for those of you who are listening? What app, or not what app, but what is our bot going to be doing? Ideas from the peanut gallery, please. I do have a couple of ideas. I'm thinking about creating like a prompt generator. And this is GPT-4, so make it good. Let's see what else we could do. I do want to do some meta stuff. Let's see. We could say, y'all give me some ideas, and I'll run the first one myself. And then once we come across some ideas, I'll just restart the bot and go with whatever y'all going with. I forgot who wanted me to write a book before, but it was making progress. We'll say programmer GPT. What files do we have in here? And we can delete this. And we'll just leave that alone. Okay. We'll call this programmer GPT. We'll say create. Well, an AI to assist with programming. Something simple. First goal. We're going to say Google how to create distributed applications or how to program across all computers in a local network. Gather strategies on gather strategies and code accomplishing goal 1. Write strategies to files. Terrible goals, but we're just going to go with it. All right, and then we're going to expand or enlarge. All right, let's see. This is GPT-4. Let's see where it's taking us. Okay. Browse website, Geeks for Geeks. All right, so we're off to a good start. How to program distributed applications across all computers in the local network? Kind of specific, but that is what we asked for. Oh, is asking us for approval to keep going. We'll say yes, and then we'll go for like another 50 commands. Now we was it one? Downloaded something already. Spinning up a browser instance, WDM. That's probably the actual browser. Something, I don't know. Yeah, we was at $8 or something, so we'll see how far this goes. So basically, what I want to do with this bot is to find out how to create distributed applications. Distributed applications is an application that runs on multiple computers, or it shares its processing on multiple computers. Henceforth, the term distributed. Text does not provide information. Okay. Now, remember, I did ask it to go on Google first, and it went on Geeks for Geeks first. Tutorialspoint.com. So you can see how this could get expensive because it's going on. While, yes, these are programmer related websites, it didn't do the Google search first. Maybe that's our fault. We should have expounded on that. Pull Google searches. Go 10 pages deep in Google searches and with our search term and see where it goes from there. Let me see if there's any comments on Two Chicks. Okay. StackOverflow.com. Okay. I think I'll probably go because this doesn't require GPT-4. So we'll probably restart in 3.5. Geeks for Geeks. Yeah, this doesn't require 4. This is why it's important to really outline your prompts, or rather your goals in this instance, since AutoGPT is generating the prompts. Text does not provide. Yeah, I mean, it's searching on the web, but it's not Googling. That's the problem. So now it's Googling. Okay. All right. Summarize the chunk 101. Length almost 10,000 characters, 1,800 tokens. Okay, Google did return something. I will now search for more specific. Okay, so now we're looping. Okay. And we'll control C up out of that. We'll do the same thing, only we'll do it with GPT-3 and we'll stick to Google. All right. So, yep, GPT 3 only. All right, so no. Then we'll say, we'll call this note taker GPT like we did before. All right, so note taker GPT is an AI designed to do research and take notes. 5 goals. Um, visit websites from Google searches on the topic of distributed computing. Okay. Research on how or gather information on how to program distributed applications. Develop a strategy and sample application using research gathered. I think that's good enough. Okay. And if you guys have any ideas, any more ideas on what you want me to do, something you want me to do for you, I'll be more than happy to. Just put it in the chat. Let me know. All right, so it is starting out with Google this time. All right, so we're going to do yes and 500. And is using our headless Chrome browser. It says, okay. I don't think it needs to ask a question. Maybe just do a Google search. So we could probably do like a browse website, and then like the arguments, kind of like uh command itself instead of just saying Google stuff. All right, analyze code. So we're not there yet. I know it has to jump to goal 2. Yeah, it jumped down to goal 2, and we're not even done with goal 1. Write to file, distributed computing. Yeah, I see how it this is 3.5 tripping day. So yeah, it's we're on goal 3 here where it writes the file, which is what I wanted to do. The process is right, but it hasn't actually found anything. What it's writing to a file is the information cannot be found. Let's just test that to see if it's actually in here, and it has. Yeah, the text does not provide information on how to. Yeah, that's not helpful. But this is why we use 3.5 instead of 2, or instead of 4. Excuse me. I'd be pissed if I was using 4 and just told me it was writing stuff to a file that I couldn't use. So I guess a better way to ask for like a goal is use like the browse website command, and then the arguments give it like this sort of kind of like the Google argument, and then give it kind of like a search term, but no question. Okay. Analyze code from website. Yeah, I haven't clearly defined my goals. It's not really doing anything. Okay. Another browse command. Chat GPT. Okay. Yeah, we're going nowhere fast with this. So I can analyze again. Yeah. We'll let it go for about 5 more iterations. Okay, so now it actually gave us an actual Google search. Oh, it actually came up with AutoGPT. That's interesting. Oh no, this is okay. Never mind. This is kind of like this is part of the bot. Never mind. Oh goodness. Let's see. Java, Java at point, Java T point. Okay. It was, I guess, blocked. Let's see. Anyone with any ideas? Everyone's probably asleep at this point. I had done ate dinner. I do apologize again, guys. I had done ate dinner and fell asleep. Ed Eureka. Okay. I should probably, yeah, it seemed like we might be better off doing like the browse website command and then like setting up the arguments explicitly, because we're not getting anything um by this method of you know, go to the website and then ask a question, because it's putting everything in quotes, and that's not really helpful. We'll probably, yeah, we'll definitely be better like doing Google searches and then like scraping those results. We need to be figure out how other people are doing it. Because I know I've seen it done. It's just a specific set of terms that you need to have for it to do a specific thing. Just like when pulling files from your local storage, you have to give it the actual command. I think the command is read file, and you have to say like use the make your next action the read file command and the arguments. And what it'll do first, it'll search the files or search the folder for matching files, and then go there. Yeah, because this isn't doing anything. Not a thing at all. Type error cannot read properties. So yeah, we need to do more research on how to goal engineer with AutoGPT. We'll let it go for a couple more iterations, and we'll leave it here. And then we'll come back tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow evening because I got 5 exams to do tomorrow. Um, I have to have them done by the end of the 25th, and of course we start school on June the 1st. So last month or next month will be our last month for like our pre-study and studying, and like kind of like our pre-gaming, and we'll only have like 10 classes at WGU for our computer science degree, but those classes will not be easy at all. We'll let it go one more time. It's thinking. It's been thinking for a minute. Mm-hmm. All right. We're on Google searches again. And as far as like looking up like goal engineering, we need to figure out how to get rid of this. What says the section include links and articles and tutorials on programming distributed applications. Links? Okay. All right. Okay. So it's doing the same thing again. Splitting up that result into chunks. And it's iterating through those chunks and summarizing, which is exactly what we needed to do for our local PDFs. So we definitely got to do more research on that. Okay. Exactly made its way to Wikipedia. 40,963 characters. All right. So it's got something. Okay. What did you find? Okay. Components locating different network computers that could communicate and coordinate their actions by passing messages to one another. It also discusses different types of distributed programming language and architectures. Okay. Something. Let's see what AutoGPT does with that information. I will save the information. Okay. All right. So it's actually saving that information to a file and it saved it successfully. So we go to our AutoGPT workspace and that's the file right there. Nothing really useful, but in the breadth of what we wanted to do, it's not very good at it, but it's doing what we want it to do. It's getting research from the internet on a topic and it's saving it to a file. The problem is, it's not really synthesizing that information into something. We didn't ask it to synthesize it, of course. So let's see. Search for tutorials on how to program. So this is goal number 2. Yeah, goal number 2 or 3. So Java, OpenMP, MPI, so on and so forth. All right. So not able to find tutorials on how to program. So it's going back to Google to Google search that information, see what it comes up with. Okay. I don't think because I wish there was a way to like distribute like GPT-4 to certain commands and GPT-3 to others. That would make this a lot easier. Tutorials on programming distributed applications. Okay. All right. We did get results. Browse website, tutorials, point. Tutorials point is probably not going to give us anything. Hasn't given us anything yet. Yeah, does not provide specific information. Yada yada yada. Anyone with any ideas on things that they want to accomplish with AutoGPT? Let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it for you. Okay, and all right, it's doing a search. More tutorials on how to do it. It's actually doing, let's see, Python, Java, so on and so forth. Okay, so I think when it gives us, like, when it comes back with a command browse website return, it's not really doing much with that information. Um, the problem is I should be asking to scrape it, like your search results. I should say something like scrape the results that the command browse website has returned or something like that. See, I need to ensure that I'm not spending too much time reading through the tutorials. It's not really important. Because we are getting hits. Turn on continuous scrolling. I found a website with tutorials on. I will visit the website, read through the tutorials of programming. Okay. Visit. I need to show I'm not spinning a seat. This is where it is doing is the thoughts is right, the reasoning is right, the plan is right. The criticism, I don't know what that's about. This point is just looping. It's not actually doing anything. I need to ensure I'm not spending too much time reading through the tutorials and that I'm only saving important information in files. Okay. But then it'll get the search results, it'll get hits, but then it's not reading. That's the problem. This is like the fourth time it looped. All right, I'll end it after this if it doesn't do anything. Still a couple of pieces that I'm missing in terms of like accomplishing this goal. Hmm. Okay. Analyze code. There is no code. It's no code. It's just text. Yeah. It's the wrong. This is where I would have to give it feedback. Instead of doing continuous or not continuous, but doing fixed numbers. Yeah, you would have to really guide it through. Because this isn't code, that's an article or some reading material that it should be reading. One more. Uno más. Right into a file, but again, it's not doing much. Let's see. Okay, they put my link up. Thank you, 2Chicks. I appreciate it. But yeah, I got to do more research and then come back. I've already been updated. And then again, with this overwriting of the files, let me see. Links. No, that's not useful. Yeah, it didn't give us a new information because the file already, we didn't tell it to create new files. All right, we'll end it here. We'll do more research and we'll come back tomorrow evening and start over with more knowledge. Thank you guys so much for coming, and you all have a good night.